Hi there guys, hope you're doing good today. Gary, what's up, my man? So hopefully you guys can see and hear me. I'm doing quite a bit of experiments these days, just to try and improve the chat stream sound, and also having a setup that I can keep, you know, because I've had good sounds in the live stream before, but they basically required me to use all my equipment that I also use for producing videos. So I had to tear it down, and it would take me like an hour to set it up. So I've done some deep digging. I found an old mixer board that kind of helps me a little bit here. So we'll see. Sounds good. Thanks for confirming, Gary. So I'm just jamming over a loop here in A major. If you want to tune in, you can play your A major scale or your F sharp minor pentatonic, works well. To do the Nokia ringtone, you can do a bit of that's more of like an R2D2 effect, I think. Shaquille, what's up, my man? subs only. I'm not sure what OF only. Oh, only fans. I haven't gotten to that yet. There might be like some subscribers only or members only link here, but that's YouTube throwing up these. I don't really control those. So if you happen to click those, you can get access to all my members content. But I haven't placed any in the videos. I don't know if YouTube does that. So, Mr. What the fuck did you say? I think he wants the OnlyFans content because it's getting so freaking hot in here. And that's because of playing, you know? So I'll just take it as a compliment. MP4 memes, thank you, man. Hey there, EC29, my man, doing good, how about you? And is sound today okay if you compare to the previous streams? I'm trying to improve sound a little bit here with like a direct sound mixed with the microphone, so it'll be interesting to hear because you've been around for the last couple of chats, so you can, or live streams, so you can probably compare. Sounds very good today. Awesome to hear, man. That's awesome. Lelio, sei molto bravo come chitarrista. Molto bravo. That sounds like a good thing. Thank you. I think you said bravo. Okay, so let's see what more we can find here. Let's, okay. D major. Let's try that. Ooh, sounding very jazzy to my ears. Thank you, Nguyen. You're too kind, man. Yeah, it's a direct sound going through the more radar, so there's like an IR in between, but I'm mixing that with a microphone that's here, so it catches a bit of the room in my voice, so there's a blend going on, but I try to set it up so that the direct signal would be a bit louder, because I figured it sounds better when you're not getting too much of the room. There just for fun. Cool, EC29. Really glad you like it. It's an attempt to have a bit more consistent live streaming quality. We'll see. I'll probably do some live streams outdoors as well, and that'll just be with my phone. But I figure that once I'm in the studio, it would be pretty cool if I could somewhat consistently recreate a good quality. Because it's a big difference in obviously the listening pleasure. If it's more like sounds a bit more like studio recorded and not just your average phone with the whole room boominess going on. Pronounce it. So this is a Gibson LPJ. Bit dusty. Sounds good though. I recently crowned the frets on it, and it's really playable now. It's just a fantastic feeling. So when Gibson had their kind of cheaper guitar run in I think 2014, and they unfortunately they stopped with them, but they're really good value guitars. So if you can find one used, maybe it's a good, probably a good deal. sounds fantastic. Thanks so much for confirming. Very happy to hear that, man. Cool, Easy29. So, camera, I think there's room for improvement. I've ordered like a USB-C hub with well, it doesn't really matter, but that's going to allow me to basically get the HDMI out from the camera and maybe do 4K live streams. I've done it once and it worked, but that required me to turn everything upside down. But with this hub, hopefully I'll be able to do that. Try that one with the neck pick and the tonal. We can try it. So here's a neck pick, and let's try it. Alex, sounds awesome. Thanks for the cool suggestion. Please play something bluesy. We can try that as well. We'll just head over to the major pentatonic box. So I'm gonna do. It's gonna look like B minor pentatonic, but it's in fact D major pentatonic. Okay, I guess I accidentally landed on shreddy blues there, but I hope that somehow met your expectation. Yeah, 4K streams would be sick. Of course, this would be a weird 4K because I would still do them in like, how do you say, portrait mode. And that's simply because YouTube sends me zero traffic if I go live on like standard landscape. But I could still throw in like portrait, and that's gonna work. Cool, we got my man Sayori here. Thank you, Sayori, for being such a loyal fan on the channel. You're the best, man, and thank you for being a member. It means the world to me, man. Alex, excellent hybrid picking, awesome. Thanks so much for that. We can check that out a little bit more, maybe. So with this warm sound, in general, I'm gonna prefer the sound of my fingers, right? So whether you play hybrid picking or just finger picking, and it doesn't have to be fancy, just, you know, put your pick down and just play like some slow notes with your fingers and try to hear how it sounds so much warmer. If we compare with a pick, I mean, it's nice, but it totally different feels, right? So what I do a lot of times is just to have my pick here, right? And just hide it like that in my index finger, and I'll just play with my fingers. And the more you do that, the more likely you are to, at some point, just keep the pick like standard grip while also adding some fingers, and all of a sudden you're doing hybrid picking, and that's kind of how I stumbled upon it. For that kind of run, I'm mixing picking with my fingers. Sayori, miss you too, man. Thanks so much. whenever I go with those legato licks, hybrid picking is very convenient because I can simply pre-position my finger on the next string, and that basically increases chances of me not hitting the wrong string with my right hand, and I'm sure that has happened to you. It's very frustrating, and obviously when you hit the wrong string it sounds like crap, so that's something you want to avoid. Now Alex, I would agree, you get different attack, but you also get different tones, so you can get a good attack from the fingers, like snappy attack, right? It's going to be a little bit warmer still than if you try to achieve the same kind of dynamics with a pick. So just to illustrate my point, I can go really snappy with my fingers here. So there's quite a bit of attack there, but it still doesn't sound. It's subtle, but when you get that like 10 times in a row in a run, it starts to make a pretty substantial difference to how everything sounds, right? If I just play that with my finger, it's a bit softer, and just with the pick, and it's definitely brighter. The chords, I don't remember them. I recorded the loop like 6 months ago, but it's all in D major. That sounds like the 7 chord. So it's D major 7. And then I think it's A7. So just D major 7 and A7. So the distortion right now is a mix of the pushed Fender Blues Junior, which is pretty much cranked. The volume knob is cranked and the master volume is way down. But also silk tone fuzz. I haven't really set it to sound like fuzz. It sounds more like an overdrive. So those are the two things giving you overdrive now, and except for like picking dynamics and stuff like that. So that kind of fast attack kind of sound comes from the wah-wah pedal engaged, and then just doing like muted legato. So that's your Rick Graham or Nuno Bettencourt thing, right? Sayori staccato sounds pretty cool. You have to be a little bit careful with it though. With this kind of setting, playing over a ballad, it's more of a sound that you might use when you're trying to cut through the mix. So maybe when it's a bit like playing over a rock or metal backing track, something more busy. But of course, it does give me a very nice kind of smooth flow, or not smooth, but aggressive flow, I would say. So use it with caution. But let's see here. Maybe we can find some minor backing tracks here. So this would be C minor, C harmonic minor. I don't know Juice WRLD, sorry man, don't know what that is. Some more staccato. That's for you, Sayori. Staccato for Sayori, my man. That's cool. Thank you, Lazy Orbit. Cool guitar. Thank you, the Apple Core. Hello there, Asian username, which I can't read. We got my man Fred from the cornfields, Southern Indiana. How you doing, man? Amy, you want an arpeggio in D minor 7? We're in C minor now, so I'm just gonna do it in C minor 7. So here's a C minor 7 arpeggio. Actually, I cheated quite a bit there. I added the 9th and the 13th, but just the arpeggio. And that's just the arpeggio. Of course, I'm doing like a C minor pentatonic here, so it already has the whole C minor 7 arpeggio plus the 4th. And then that's all. The pentatonic scale is 5 notes, and a C minor 7 arpeggio is 4 notes. So if you add the fifth note, you get, whoa, where's my thumb? You get 5 notes, pentatonic scale. Lazy orbit, I should make a beginner series. Interesting requests for sure. I do have a pretty extensive pay course, which you can find on my site. And I do have quite a bit of guitar or like beginner friendly videos on my channel, but nothing that is like a course or a series that's available for free. So that's definitely something you could think a bit about. Okay, so maybe see if we can dial in a really fat sound here, maybe using the full tone OCD. You're wondering why I disappeared? I'm currently doing some work on my on the floor on my pedal board. Maybe I could show you that. Let's see, am I even connected? No, it's gonna be tricky. I'm soon done here. Not super fat. Let's try different reverb. fun. It's pretty aggressive. So I'm adding a super long reverb, and it's called a bloom reverb from the Strymon Big Sky. Okay, so that's a bit of a different sound at least. We can try some more here, see if we find a backing track. And we have a request from Sigori, how to change low note to high note or high note. Okay, so basically going, this is nice. Basically doing some, cover some ground on the fretboard. So D minor, I'll see first if we can get some examples going. D minor. So I think I found a pretty cool sound here. Sounds pretty dramatic to me. Whoops. If I could just play the right notes. Sync with tempo, let's see. See if this improves it. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Sorry, don't know any King of Leon. I don't think I've checked out. I've heard the band. They have a pretty cool name though. So that enough. That itself might be a good reason to check them out. But I don't think I've heard them. Maybe I should check them out. Do they? They have this kind of ambient feel. Anyhow, so a few words about moving between low to high notes. It's a big topic and it's easy to get super theoretical about it, and it's something I do cover in many of my courses because it's essential to kind of the kind of improvising I do, where I want to be able to just freely move around. But the main thing to understand is it's not about memorizing like scales, stuff like that. It's about basically starting with one position, like the one you probably know, the E minor pentatonic, and then just learn like one string from the next position, and then practice going in between them. So if I'm in D minor, the first position would be. Now, in order to practice going between that position and another position, I would start by doing it on one single string. And maybe you can search for like pentatonic boxes and you're gonna find the 5 boxes. And I would practice that if I were starting out for a few days, and then add the next string, the B string. And I would improvise with that all the time, not to memorize them, but really to get them into my muscle memory, because that's the only way I can start moving around more freely. Now, a technique more specifically that helps when you're trying to go between positions and go up and down on the fretboard is sliding. So if you don't know how to slide, that's super important. And that's how a lot of the movement between the positions is done. So you're hitting a note and then you're sliding it. Now, more specifically, what Sayori asked about was how to go from low to high notes. And the way I would do that is exactly by practicing this way. But in the long run, I will have covered all the different possibilities going to the next box and the next box and the next box. And in both directions, there are only 5 boxes. So eventually I will be able to start on the low, move to the next box via sliding, move to the next box via sliding, play a little bit and move to the next box on the next string, and so on and so forth. And that's how I connect the boxes. But it's a very gradual process. You really have to look at it like one box and one string at a time. Practice only that. I've been teaching for 20 years, and I still haven't found any method that just allows you to, see all the dots immediately and play them. I don't think that exists. That's more like a sales gimmick. The only real way to do this is to take it slowly, step by step, and just practice playing and including one string in the next box. When you know that, you take the next string in the next box. And when you've done that 6 times, you will have covered 2 boxes. You can then move on to the 3rd box, and then to the 4th box, and to the 5th box. When you know the 5 pentatonic boxes, then you will be able to play it all over the fretboard. So yeah, this is a guitar. Yes, Reef Noob. It's an electric guitar. So yeah, that's in essence. I think it's probably the thing most people misunderstand about position switching and going up and down in scales. I think a lot of people just learn a scale and then try to remember it, and they try to play it fast, but it doesn't really help. You have to practice the scale by playing licks and patterns and phrases in that scale and then slowly expanding upon it. That's the only way I found. Need a bit of energy here. Got my man ECBCLS. What's up, my man? Iker, no problem, man. Or hello. No problem. Hello, what's up? I was going to say that to Sayori. No problem, thank you. Keep up the fantastic support, man. It means the world. Mr. Big. I don't know any Mr. Big. It's a cool request, though. Paul Gilbert. So. That would be your Paul Gilbert run. Sorry, I don't know any Freebird. But T, did you get any kick out of me trying to do Paul Gilbert? Try some more. That's the closest to Mr. Big I'll ever get. AC/DC lick over this. Whew. It's gonna be hard. I don't know many AC/DC licks. I mean, he does a lot of blues rock, so I guess. My windows here. That didn't work. You like my purple guitar? I'm struggling a little bit with the setup with it because I did change the tremolo, which was a good improvement, but I still can't really have the tremolo go back to like 0.0, so I haven't played it that much recently. I need to figure out what to do with it. Haven't done that yet. But let's see here. What more we have? I think we might have. I think I had a pretty cool Dorian track here. Let's see if we can find that. Maybe this. AC/DC, this track works better for that. So it's just 5, 7, 5 and 8, right? You pull off to the open string. If you know, that's how I remember it. I haven't played the track for a long time. Let's see if we can sync the delay. That's hard to play. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Cool. So it's been a fun session. So this was pretty much an experiment just to see if you would hear me, and I think you did. And I'm going to listen back to this now and see if you know, if I like the audio quality. But as always, you've been fantastic hanging out with me. It's super fun to do these live streams, and you guys just steer me in different cool directions, which definitely makes the streams more interesting and makes us cover a lot of interesting ground, which wouldn't have happened otherwise. So keep up the fantastic work. You guys are the best. And I've been Christopher Dahl. See ya. Cheers.